weeks. And Ryan, thanks so much for the time and for dropping by as always. You guys salvaged last week's 3-game weekend against SUNY Poly by holding them off late up there. 4 big runs in the 5th inning, and then you hold them off in the 9th. What was the biggest lesson you think the guys learned over this past weekend?
Thanks a lot for having me on here, Nick. I really appreciate it. The boys definitely responded. Saturday was definitely a wet, yucky one out, pretty cold, and I think we let some variables get in the way that we shouldn't have on Saturday, and they came back out, and SUNY Poly got ahead on us early on, and I think they finally just put their foot down and realized that we're better than we're showing right now. We got to turn it up a notch, and between some little bit of pop and some a lot of speed, we put some pressure on them and able to put some balls in the gap, and so we put up some quick runs, and honestly we probably should have had even more. Poly made some real nice plays in the field to hold us down even earlier than that, but they just kind of gritted their teeth a little bit and turned it up a notch, and were able to respond and get the lead.
Aaron Izquierdo has been very solid during his career, but so far his early season numbers are outrageous. He's matched his career home run total in just 7 games here. His slash line is through the roof, and I know it's a small sample size and just 7 games into the season, but what have you seen from him, and what's made him so tough at the plate early on here?
I really think that he's taken his years of experience and maturity and taken everything to the next level. Early on in his career here, he had a pretty high strikeout rate, and we had worked on him trying to cut that down and put the ball in play better. And I think last year was a year he focused on really trying to hit for average and cut his strikeout rate down, and it showed in his I believe he hit over 300 last year. And then he works his tail off in the off season and really takes good care of his body, and he's put a lot of good work in. I think the last 2 summers playing for the Cortland Crush and the NYCBL has really helped him. He's a 2-year captain for me, so he's really stepped up on many different levels. And he's started off well. I hope he can keep up a good quality pace to him, but he's working hard, and hard work pays off.
Ryan Stevens is our guest here on BTL, head coach of the Wells Express baseball team. Wells sitting at 4-3 right now on the season, hosting Hobart tomorrow, and then in Myrtle Beach for some spring break baseball, which we'll get to in a little bit. Jacoby James also putting together a wildly good season at the plate right now. He's hitting .464. He's got a homer. He's got double-digit in RBIs. He's got 4 doubles. How do you feel like his game has grown from year 1 to year 2? How much more comfortable does he maybe seem at the plate right now?
I think he's starting to tap into his potential and his ability. Last year being a freshman, we had some growing pains with his game and just trying to tighten certain things up and changing. The ability's always been there, but I think helping to guide him to improving his maturity and his approach at the plate and his defense, I think that's where you're starting to see the jump in his game especially. And, I stay on top of him, hold him accountable in every way, shape, and form. But, he's very coachable. He's taken a lot of criticism in a good way, and he's trying to improve his game, and he's staying pretty humble. And I think you're seeing some of the early rewards. I just want to, keep him on the right track and keep him producing at this level the best we can.
What do you feel like is the identity of this team right now? Obviously, really, really early into the season here, so maybe it hasn't quite been found yet. But do you feel like an identity has been found, or do you feel like that's something that's maybe in the process of being found at this point?
I think you're seeing a young team starting to come into his own. We started a lot of freshmen last year, so we've been a program in transition the last couple of years since COVID, but I think you're starting to see a team that's starting to put it together and find their identity, like you were saying. They're really bonded over, losing our guy Jared Strait to the tragedy this past summer. Has really got them pretty motivated and fired up to prove ourselves as a program, and I think you're going to see some good things out of the team moving forward.
Last season was a bit of a tough one. You finished with an 11-27 record. You picked up just 4 wins in the conference. How much does that act as motivation for the guys who are back to really right the ship and make this a winning ball club?
I think, like I said, we're a program in transition the past couple of years. This is our first year in the AMCC. We left the United East last year. Last year was our last year there. It was a very difficult conference, and we were a bit of an anomaly last year as a program. I think we're kind of a mystery. We lost a lot of 1- and 2-run games to some really, really high-end teams in our conference. As well as a tough non-conference schedule. I think you're really starting to see the maturity and growth of our program, of multiple years of work to get us going in the right direction. And I think you're going to see some good stuff from us moving forward.
Ryan Stevens is our guest here on BTL, head coach of the Wells Express baseball team. The team 4-3 to begin things right now, hosting Hobart tomorrow, and then in Myrtle Beach for some spring break baseball. Anyone who looks at your roster will see there are a lot of local baseball players who head up there to play for you guys. A lot of Section 4 ball players from the STAC and the IAC. And of course, the Odom brothers come to mind from Elmira. They have done really, really well during their time there. What is it about this area that draws them to Wells? And for you as a coach, what kind of qualities do these local Section 4 ball players bring?
We've had some good success of bringing some kids here. We're a beautiful campus with nice turf field with lights on it. It's a good education and a safe environment for kids. I think that's attractive, and I think that you're going to continue to see more and more athletes see the opportunity that we offer here. And we were able to get some good Section 4 and Southern Tier kids like the Odom twins, like Mason Smith out of Corning, Mark Mabey out of Lansing. So we're getting some good quality local kids. We've got 3 Dryden kids as well as Stephen Deedle from Ithaca. And, we're getting some good quality kids, developing them and giving them an opportunity to play baseball at a pretty high level. And I think there's some really great things on the horizon for us.
Obviously, as I've said a few times, we are still very early on in the season, and you still want to see the wins. You still want to see those results on the scoreboard. But as a coach, what do you want to see happen over these next couple of weeks? What are some things you look to see and hope to develop so that when the real meat and potatoes of the season and the conference play gets underway, you guys are, full steam ahead and winning those really important and meaningful ball games?
Right. I would say consistency. The kids coming to the ballpark every day and bringing the same energy and intensity that they do on a daily basis. That's the expectation, and I think that's kind of what happened a little bit on Saturday and the one game that we lost down in D.C. a few weeks ago to Elmira. It was kind of a similar setup. Didn't quite show up the way we should have the first day of the series, and then day 2 they came back and really dug their heels in and responded. And I think that's a sign of growth and talent and grittiness, so to say. I just want to get rid of the days where we're kind of having the down days. I think if we can get rid of those, I think you're going to really see us put together a solid season this year.
The temperature weather-wise isn't going to be too terrible next week for early March, but you guys are going to be seeing something that we don't necessarily see this time of the year, sunshine, when you guys go down to Myrtle Beach and you play some baseball down there. So how excited are you and the players especially to get some time down there, play a lot of baseball in a short amount of time, a handful of really late night games and everything like that? How much are you guys looking forward to that trip?
We're very much looking forward to it. We fundraise and work all year long doing that to go prepare for this trip. And we're going to get to do some fun things on our day off. We're going to go to one of the coastal baseball games, Coastal Carolina baseball games. It's a good team bonding experience for the team and for the young guys. It gets them, they're away from home with the team on the road for an extended period of time for the first time in their careers. So I think it's a real good team bonding and development. And like I said before, I really am hoping we can get some consistency out of this bunch after a good week down in Myrtle Beach and, moving forward.
Ryan, as always, really appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon, and have a nice, safe trip down there to South Carolina, okay?
Yeah, thank you kindly for having us on, and look forward to hear from you guys soon. Appreciate it.